and he posts a picture. And Rick, this is going to be right up your lane, okay? It's going to be right up your lane. he posts a picture of some ice melter laying in some snow on some type of lot. Wasn't really that good of a picture to see what it was, but he says, how do you know when you have enough ice melter down? How do you know when you have enough ice melter down? And I'm just going to say there were quite a few goofy answers that people gave, just being, how it is on social media. Not because they didn't know maybe the right answer, but just because sometimes I don't know how to say it, but sometimes you just got to get down there. You just got to get on the same level with somebody. But I'm just saying, when you ask for help and somebody tries to help you, I don't understand why you don't want to listen to it. We spend all this time looking for help and asking for some guidance on some things, and then you don't listen to it. So I sent this guy a private message, and I said, there's basically, there's different variables involved, but check this out. And I sent the link to our snow and ice management book that we have available. And I said, check that out. It might help you. And it'll help you get through not just ice melter selection and choices and rates, but, just snow and ice management in general. He sends me a text back, and he says, just simply, looks expensive. Looks expensive. Now, I don't know if he's talking about just because the way it looked, on our website, or if he actually looked at it and didn't see the value in it. I mean, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I mean, because I know what the validation of the material inside is being used by contractors all over North America. So I'm not worried about one particular person that says this didn't hit the target. I mean, we're concerned of hitting the target with each and every customer that utilizes our products or our books or our estimators. But at the end of the day, we also know we're not everything to everybody. But so my question was this, and this isn't what prompted my rest of my segment on why do people expect something for nothing. That was already planned. This just fell perfectly into it. But I said, what justifies expensive, basically? What justifies expensive? Because when you look at a snow and ice manual that we have available that costs $50, and I'm not making a commercial out of our stuff, I'm just explaining this scenario. One job that's bid right because you understand how much ice melter you should use, whether it's sodium chloride or magnesium chloride or an acetate. There's a lot of different flavors that ice melters come in, and it's not one size fits all. Or, wet or dry snow. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys think of that when you're making an application of ice melter. Is it wet snow? Is it a dry snow? There's a lot of variables that get involved. Is it a day application? Is it a night application? Is it still snowing? Are we putting an ice melter down at 28 degrees, or are we doing it at 0, or somewhere in between? That's the knowledge that we need to have as an industry. And let me say that one more time. That's the knowledge that we have to have as an industry, rather than just 800 pounds or 1,000 pounds or a ton, because for years the industry standard, and I'm showing my age a little bit, but for a long, long time, people used to always say, well, ton to the acre, And I'm like, man, and this goes back to 1987 when I was trying to educate myself in 87, 88, 89 time frame, when I was trying to educate myself a little better. And I'm thinking, these guys got a lot more experience than I do, but what I'm seeing on application rates and the results I'm seeing, it's not taking anywhere near that kind of volume. So there's a lot more that goes into it. And I think what we need to do, man, I appreciate all these texts coming in. I appreciate all these texts coming in. But my whole point was this to the guy. If you want real help, get help in the right place. That's number one. But how is something that costs you $50 to figure out a real problem that you've got within your business too expensive? Somebody answer that for me. How is $50 too expensive when you're trying to figure out a real problem? You know, if somebody could tell me that, hey, Wayne, for $50, I'm going to solve that problem you got. Well, that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer in my world. I don't care if the Easter Bunny's selling it. It doesn't matter who's got it available. If you say, hey, if you check this out and you implement what's in this knowledge here that I'm going to give you, regardless of who's selling it, and I'm going to solve that problem for you for $50, is there anybody in their right mind that wouldn't do it? And if you're not willing to put $50 into solving a problem for your company, man, I'm just going to say you need to sit back and you may want to consider what the heck you're doing. I mean, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Rates change, freezing rain, sleet, wet snow, dry snow. And when you ask for help and then you don't want to hear it, man, I'm sorry. I just don't get it.